I'd like to welcome everybody to yet another episode of the Car Mechanic 2021 series I've been doing on YouTube. Um, we've had some really good cars. We're up to episode number 6 now. This is number 7, actually, that we're currently recording. The previous one we did was a 1971 Mustang Mach 1, and I ended up keeping that one because that one actually did a pretty decent job on it. The paint job was great. Everything looked beautiful on it, and I was like, okay, this is a unique vehicle. I'm going to keep this. So, ended up not even, like I said, not even selling it. So, I figured we'd keep on with the theme here, at least for another episode, where in this case we are doing a 2017 Ford Mustang. It's another car off the DLC. As you can see, we found it at a junkyard. The body is in horrific shape. The parts aren't much better. The frame is salvageable, of course, but we got some work to do on this one. Had some really interesting luck at the junkyards here lately. So let's get started. First things first, we are going to fix the frame. That'll get us first check box on the list. Back up here. There we go. Very nice. Already made it look much better. Alright, thank you. You can go away now. Okay, there isn't much left of the frame, or the body, excuse me. In fact, pretty much all the windows except for the windshield are missing. We might try to see if we could salvage these few body parts and just get rid of these windows, because we're going to be buying all new ones anyway. So the headlights are missing, taillights are missing, a lot of shit's missing because we shouldn't be able to see the engine quite so easily through the front of the car, naturally. So we ain't got a whole lot. In fact, I don't think even the back bump. Yeah, the back bumper's not even. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like, and that's where we are. So she's missing a few things. And we're going to replace the interior because it's yeah, you could see it there. It's kind of grungy. Anyway, let's get the body parts off. See if there's anything of this that we could salvage. I mean, salvage as in repair, not salvage as in the game's definition of salvage, which is turning it into scrap, although it'd be a mercy kill. Yeah, I can already tell you right now, I think pretty much none of this is going to be repairable. I'm going to try anyway. One thing. One thing's fixable. Oh gosh, this one's off to a good start. And even then it required like what? 4 or 5 passes on the body part bench. We couldn't even salvage the door. Right. Anyway, let's get rid of this stuff. Ooh, this one's gonna be fun. But that means just that much more that we're gonna have to end up buying from scratch. We'll do that. One headlight and the other. What we got? We got front bumper, the hood, left headlight, right headlight. Okay. So, fender, door, windshield, left body, rear window, trunk, rear bumper, left taillight, right taillight, which I always thought these taillights were kind of pretty in this car. I think they're the animated ones. Alright, let's go with that and see where we end up. Okay. Need a front bumper. Thank you. Brand new hood. Left headlight. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're just pretty much just gonna have to buy everything. So we're just gonna go through the rest of this list here real quick and move on here. Okay, rear window, trunk, tail light, right tail light. Okay, another body window, looks good. Right hand side door. And front right fender. So that should get us pretty dang close. And we're going to be painting this stuff anyway, so the color of the panels is not going to be a deal breaker. Right, we'll get that when we get the other side mirror. Okay, so we got the right mirror and the left side. Okay. Okay. That should leave us with just the plates. Both not front mirrors. Right front mirror and both front windows. That, and that. Rest is done, it looks like. Alright. Back to it, I guess. Okay. There's our first window. Here's the other window. And the other side mirror. Cool. For the plates, just gonna go over to the plate shop. I'm gonna do my typical plate I do for most builds, unless I'm doing a themed one. Let's see, custom plate. Nope. Getting sloppy here. Hang on. There we go. 2 plates. Accept. By part. Thank you. And back to assembly mode so I can actually put these in. Okay. That should get us pretty darn close. Spring being spring, my sinuses are still bothering me. Sorry. So yeah, frame's 100%, body's 100%. Let's knock out the interior real quick, and then we'll focus on getting this thing on its own wheels, because we literally have one front wheel and one back wheel. And the rims are in just garbage tier shape. So, I'm going to get the interior done so we can check off that box. Right. Here, assembly mode, interior, and grab everything that ain't nailed down. In fact, we're missing a driver's seat. I didn't realize that. Do normal mode. There we go. So we need. Nope. Oh, that's not right. There. I usually double up on the front seats anyway, so it's, even though we didn't have a front seat to work off of, it's the same. They just mirror it. No big deal. Okay, this time we need the interior shop. Give me your bench seat, thank you. 2 front seats. And a brand new steering wheel. Alright. Go to assembly mode. And back to normal mode. Okay. Just a few minutes worth of work, and we've got 3 out of the 4 boxes checked. Not bad. Now comes the real work. Yeah, starting to look better from the outside, but let's get her back on her own wheels here. I have a feeling the suspension's probably dicker too, which means we're probably going to have to put some temporary parts in if we want to have this thing rolling, because yeah, we're missing several over here. Looks like a caliper, probably rear shock absorber, probably some other stuff too there. I'm not seeing an end link. Could be something connecting this to this. Yeah, we're missing an end link, we're missing a drive shaft. Yeah, that was pretty close. And yeah, we're it's one thing about finding cars in a junkyard. They will be missing the vast majority of what they need to be able to go. Oh, and a upper suspension arm too. Because I want to get this in good enough shape to be able to take screenshots, and then we do the rest of the build. I know we did that slightly differently in the previous episode, but that was a special circumstance. That one had a big gaping hole up front, where you could see, even with the grill, you could still see inside, and yeah, we could still do the screenshots at the end, I suppose. Be more authentic that way. Anyway, yeah, like I said, we're we're missing some parts here, but I want to be able to at least get get all 4 tires ready, get this thing rolling on its own, and then we can worry about everything else. Okay. Anyway, got that one off. And I doubt we're going to be able to fix these rims. In fact, I could say with relative certainty that that is not. I would be very surprised if even one of them was salvageable. I mean, you saw for the brief moment I had it up, there was like 28% condition. This one's 17, so not holding out much hope. Well, on the high end of expectations, we might be able to salvage 1 rim. Yeah. And we've got 2 different size tires to boot. Alright, let's get rid of that. It's a good thing I held on to that tire at least. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. We're going to be having to order 2 different sets, 2 different variations on the same size tire. All right. And you could pretty much guess why the game left you with 1 front and 1 back for that very reason. Give you enough breadcrumbs to be able to get the right tire sizes. So, over here. And let's get the rims first. Need to be 19s. 3 of them. Let's verify everything looks good. So GT 19-inch ET zeros. Yep. Right. Onto the tires. I do wish this game would do a little bit better job of, I mean, yeah, you can look at your shopping list and you can see the exact sizes, but be able to pop this up while you have the other dialog box open, or at least have it off to the side maybe, so that you could not have to keep flipping back and forth to see whether or not you bought the right tire or not. Okay, sport tire, and the first one is 255.40. Oh, 255.40. Now I got to go back in here and say 255.40 R19, 255.40 R19. That one's right. Now I need to go back and go here, and then, because it's the same type of tire, just like I said, just slightly different proportions. So 275.40. We need two of them. Before I close all that out, let's verify that one. 275.40 R19. There we go. Some cars use the same proportions tires front and the back, and some don't. And that's why you gotta be careful with doing these restorations. Okay, there we go. And any suspension parts we buy now, I mean, just trying to get the tires to be mounted again, they'll save us a little bit of trouble later on. Because we'll already have those parts and we'll save them and then just sell the rest and buy all new stuff to go around it. Alright, let's get these balanced rather. And then we'll get them mounted. That one was easy. There we go. Now, this one, since we can already put this on, we're going to put one of the bigger ones, the 275 tires. The other side's going to need a little bit of love before we can get everything in here. So that, and that. That should get us. We're going to Sorry, I thought I heard something. Anyway. Let's go over to the parts shop. Need that anymore. Shock absorber A, thank you. Sway bar end link. Upper suspension arm. Caliper, which means we're probably going to need a we'll probably need a cylinder for that too, come to think of it. 2 small rubber bushings for the upper arm. And then I used to be able to spell it one time. There we go. That in there. Good. Wait, that's that small rubber bushing. If I I need a regular rubber bushing too? Let's find out. Maybe it's one of each. Ah, there we go. I didn't pay attention to the fact that that was smaller than that. And so, yeah. We need a drive shaft too, it looks like. Drive axle. You know what I mean. There we go. I know some people are probably screaming at their monitor, going, you know, why don't you just rebuild the rest of the car and then put that on? It's like, there's reasons. I do things my own way on this game. Are they the most efficient? No. Do they work? Most of the time. You're missing a whole lot of shit. Alright. This one's going to have to get rebuilt too. Oh, and including front spring and a front spring cap, lower arm, brake caliper. Already, this is going to need a little bit of everything. And this is just to get this thing sitting on its own. Front spring cap. Front shock absorber cap. Did I get the shock absorber? Did not. Don't need that rubber bushing either. And shopping list. Buying one for now. Lower suspension arm. Means we're going to need at least 2 rubber bushings for that, and we're probably going to need 4 by the time we get to the upper. The upper, I don't know if it's B or not, so we'll... We didn't buy the caliper, did we? Damn it. Okay. This is just a disorganized mess, isn't it? That on there. Might as well go ahead and get... Of course. Can't get there from here. I think as many of these as I've done, I'd be able to figure that part out. Alright, we need to get that wishbone suspension thingy put back together. There we go. This is just to get the thing rolling, by the way. We're not actually... We are technically doing the restoration, but we're kind of doing it a roundabout way. Got the steering rack. That's the outer tie rod. An inner tie rod. Missing a bearing. Okay. Easy enough. Probably gonna need a cap after that. Yep. Right. Does this seriously not have an upper suspension arm? Interesting. Is something unique to the Mustangs here. Okie dokie. That's how they want to fly. Oh, okay, so we should be at the point now where we could put this on the ground. If we did the tires wrong, we'll find out very quickly. Because it'll get put on blocks. Alright. I think we're golden on that. Cool. So I guess we'll get the outer bits, the shiny bits of the exhaust that poke out from the back. Like basically the muffler, I guess. I get my brain to work here. We get those, you know, shiny bits put on, and then we're going to maybe do some screenshots. Maybe. These are both performance parts, so let's grab those from there. And let's get her off to paint. I'm thinking, I don't know, we're definitely doing some kind of striping. I like to do that. It usually gives it some sort of visual pop. Might go with like either like almost a silvery chrome or a dark gray metallic. We'll see how things end up. That's a good. Ooh. Now we just did a copper car. Let's go over to metallic. Okay, I can live with that. What do we got in terms of liveries? Hey, that don't look half bad. Let's see what else they got. That's not bad either. Good contrast with the dark gray. What else we got? That's not bad. It's a little dark. Want a little bit more visual pop than that. It pretty much comes down to option 1 or option 2. And I'm kind of digging, and I'll probably get some hate mail over this, but that's okay. I think I'm going to go with this. Let's move this outside. See if we can get good enough angles for the pictures. Might have to put the... One more thing here. Try to see if I can block this stuff out with the radiator. It's a long shot, but I want the vehicle to look finished. You know, do like those home restoration shows where they don't actually fix up the whole freaking house. They just fix up the part that's like visible to the camera, and the rest of it's all still like held together with like, you know, bits and pieces. Like a set piece, basically. Back out. Yeah, I think we're good. Alright, let's get some shots. Beautiful. We pull those same kind of tricks that the used car salesmen do. They take the car that is like not quite perfect. It's got some issues, but they try to find a flattering angle for it, or a couple of flattering angles, but then they post the pictures. That way when the people get there and they go to try it out, they're like, hey, this ain't the same car. But in this case, we're not trying to screw anybody over. That one's just for literally posterity's sake. It's already looking a million times better. Nice. Compared to how it looked when it came in, I'd say it looks pretty dang good. Now we got to make it run good. We got a lot to do on this thing still. We're 100% on 3 out of 4 categories, and last one's going to take the longest. But yeah, first things first. We need to get this thing torn apart and rebuilt. Let's get this up in the air, because I don't know if this has an oil pan on it or not. If it does, we'll have to drain the oil. And typically, or rather in my typical fashion, I don't bother to look to see if this thing has a fucking oil pan. And it does not. So, and all the fluid reservoirs are missing. Don't have to worry about that either. Bonus. So we could pretty much just yank that bastard right out. Rock on. Oh, hang on. I know what I forgot. I know what I forgot, and I should have left it up in the air for that. That's okay. And somebody else on there probably going to go in the YouTube comment and be like, you forgot? Yes, I know I forgot the thing. The thing. This thing. Gearbox, aka the transmission. Starter's, you know, missing in action, but that's actually a good thing. Let's go ahead and nix that thing too. So that way we can just, when we come back in, after we get the engine put back in and the gearbox and the starter put in, we can just put the new exhaust in right away. In fact, let's go ahead and nerf that, or nuke that rather. We have 2 rubber bushings. I can always buy more later. Let's see if we could salvage the gearbox and the drive shaft before we forget. Or I forget. Alright. Okay, so the exhaust is out of the way, the gearbox is off, and we don't have to drain any of the fluid reservoirs, so get this down and we can finally pluck the engine out and start working on that. And there we go. And trust me, we get to that car, that's not staying banana yellow. Sorry. I know some people are fans of that color, but not me, man. Not me. Oh, yeah. Oof. A lot of question marks. If we could at least salvage the engine block and the crankshaft, we'll be doing okay. Alright, let's get that on there. He's a little crunchy. Start out here, yep, we just got those two there, and nothing else. Just start pulling parts, I guess. These camshaft caps. And there's so much rust. This thing's gonna look completely different when we get done. Gonna give her all new parts. She's gonna absolutely sing when we go to take this thing to the dyno. That's going to come much later, though. We got quite a bit of work yet before we even think about doing anything related to an engine dyno. Rid of the spark plugs, what few there are. Missing the majority of the camshaft caps, which is okay. Like I said, we're going to be replacing everything on this particular engine, just like we did with the suspension. Everything comes out. We salvage what we can, buy what stuff that we can't fix, which in this car is probably going to be quite a bit, and go from there. Coming off first here, looks like the serpentine belt. Now, like I said, thank you, by the way, while I'm doing this, thank you to everybody who's been watching the videos. I wouldn't say my channel's necessarily exploded, but just from doing the 6 videos that I have out there, I've gotten more views on my channel than I've ever had in pretty much the whole time I've had it. But then again, up until recently, I didn't really have that much on there. I did move some stuff around that. A lot of that stuff was my other hobbies that their hobby that I was doing content for that I'm no longer doing. And so my hit counter, or my view count, probably took a nice little hit because those videos don't exist anymore, at least not on this channel. This meaning the channel that this series is being run on. So, like I said, from about end of March to now, I mean, it got like over 100, around 140 views and counting. So, good on you guys. Appreciate all your patronage there so far. Hopefully, as I keep going with this, I'll be actually making this into a, you know, a decent YouTube channel instead of just being a little place where I throw the occasional hobbyist video on here, you know? At least that's my hope anyway. With y'all's help, I can make that happen. And also, it's kind of giving me more of a justification, even with my monetary situation being what it is, because I'm still trying to get a job right now. I'm actually looking to possibly go get the rest of the DLCs for this game. And that's going to give us a massive boost to potential content. I only have like 2 or 3 actual car DLCs for this game. And you know, for those who play this game, there's a lot more than that out there. So, I mean, there's stuff for like, what, Land Rover, I think like Mercedes has one. There's all kinds of different car brands that have their stuff on here. And like I said, endless content. And some very fancy cars that could potentially fetch, my mouthwork here, fetch a fairly healthy price, you know, when we go to sell them. Or we can even drag race a few of them. Because there is a drag race DLC. Probably the most expensive of the DLCs, but it is there. Thought about maybe giving it a try. Like 10 or 15 bucks, but apparently you could do some cool stuff with it. Alright. So, over here, we're going to be replacing a lot of this with performance parts, so I'm not going to sit there and try to sort fly shit from pepper on this stuff, so we're only, at this stage, we're only going to fix what we want to fix, in this case, the engine block. And the crankshaft. Fuck. Oh, there goes that plan. Fail. Okay. We'll have to buy a new crankshaft. We'll do that first. Man, I generally don't fail those too often, but first time for everything, I guess. Let's see. Sell parts. Boom. I want to set that by condition for the future. Right. I know that's not a performance part, so I'll just go ahead and grab that here. Normally I'm able to fix up the crankshaft, but it happens. Alright. Now we're at our normal start point here for this stuff, so 8 pistons with conrod, 3 crankshaft bearings, filter, flywheel, another filter, alternator. I think that's it, because if I remember correctly, these types of engines typically have a bracket for power steering, so that will come later. And at least some of these are performance parts. Flywheel definitely is. Get the pistons. Go. Bearing caps are not. Fuel filter is. Oil filter's not, but the alternator is. Alright. Let's get those installed. Right, I click on the right thing. Though I did miss a step. Actually, 2 steps. Yep. Can you guess what they are? You guess doing the rest of the list, that's 1. Bonus points if you can guess the other one. We forgot the piston rings. At least I tried to, or I was able to remember those before I actually tried to put them in. Back up. Because you got to have the rings to be able to put them in the engine. Otherwise, your engine's not going to do very much. At least not very well. Alright, let's get the the crankshaft bearings installed, and then we'll move on. Right. Alright, so we get rod caps. Engine head B, engine head A. And clutch plate. Alrighty. Oh yeah, I think the power steering actually comes off of the one of the heads, so yeah. First time I've done one of these Coyote engines, so bear with me. Yeah, we'll just go here, tune-up shop. Rod caps are standard parts. I probably could have got those, but that's alright. We'll catch them afterwards. Engine head B, thank you. Engine head A, and thank you. Give me your clutch plate. Flip back over to the other store, and we'll get our rod caps. Once we get those installed, we'll be able to get the oil pan on and be able to right the engine so we can do the rest of this assembly in a little better angle. Alright, we got a bunch of stuff lighting up here. That's nice. Progress. Okay. Get pair number 3 done here. Last one. Go. Alright. Get that oil pan. We're going to have a whole bunch of stuff to order at once here. There's our power steering pump. That. Pressure plate. That's going to be it on this particular step. Okay, anything that's not a performance part. Oil pan is not a performance part, naturally. Exhaust manifolds are, power steering pump is, camshaft. Yeah, those are performance parts. Spark plugs, pressure intake man. This is all, rest of this is all performance parts. Okay, we need 2 exhaust manifolds. Thank you. Need our power steering pump to get that extra 1.5%, which, you know, every little bit counts, naturally. Yep. 4 camshafts. Intake manifold. 8 spark plugs. And a clutch pressure plate. Let's get that pressure plate on there first. Oh, didn't want to do an extreme close-up there. Get that oil pan on there so we can turn this thing around. That's better. So we'll work our way up here, and then we'll do the same for the other side. intake manifold on there. Go ahead and do the camshaft and the spark plugs for this other side. Get the exhaust manifold as well. Cool. Now we're getting to where it's starting to look like an engine again. Let's see, we need 4, 8, so we need 16 of these. I need 2 fuel rails, throttle, cam gear B, another cam gear. And we're probably going to need release bearing. I think that's going to be good for this particular round here. Alright, let's buy some stuff here. The camshaft caps are not performance. The fuel rails are, so we need 2 of those. Throttles performance. Cam gears are not. Clutch release bearings not. The rest of this looks like standard parts. All right. One fuel rail. The other. I was petting my cat. Okay, so we've got, what else? Alright, we got a lot of camshaft caps to put on. Do them one at a time, just like anything else. Engine's starting to look really spiffy, though. I'll tell you that. Shouldn't be too much longer, and we should be done with this part. Here. Do the same thing for this other side. Like I said, when we got this thing, it was just, like I said, it was missing a fair bit of its parts. In fact, I think there was even just a few working camshaft caps. They're missing the head covers, missing all kinds of stuff. It's gonna be a beast when we get done with her. At least I hope so. Alright, that's it on those. So we'll go ahead and get the engine cover. Go ahead and get those. And I'm ordered. I think all those are going to be standard parts. Two timing chains. I almost said something very different. Timing chains? That, yeah, that's a new one. What happens when you try to talk when you're tired? Cam gear A. Get 2 of those real easy. Nope, nope. Move the mouse right at the last second. I think we're going to need 2 of those timing chains, because as soon as we get those ordered... Nope, not that. As soon as we put one on, we're going to be probably prompted for the other one. Come on. Yep. That's the timing shoe. I need 2 of those. Those are definitely not performance parts. Nope. Getting ahead of myself here. Okie dokie. So head cover A, head cover B, water pump, pulley, and an idle roller. Cool. Yeah, none of these are performance parts, so I think we're okay. Cover A, cover B. Got your water pump right here. Crankshaft pulley, good, good. And an idle roller. Let's get these head covers on. Imagine we're probably going to need coils on the next round. Yep. Alright. That's it for that round. Okay. There, pulley installed. Might be to the point where we could start putting, yeah. I was going to say we were going to be getting to the point where we could start putting belts on, and it's exactly where we are. We're going to need a roller A and another serpentine belt. Part. Another part. In this case, another belt. Get that put on. And that. Mouse to click there. There we go. Almost done. These have to be performance parts. Yes, they are. Almost there. I say almost because picked the wrong shot basically. Yeah, you gotta have the advertising on the engine, otherwise it doesn't count, right? I think that's it. I'm not seeing any other grayed out parts. Cool. That is one completed V8 Coyote engine. That was a flashlight falling. Managed to bump it while grabbing my drink. Anyway, yeah. Let's get that in the car, shall we? Everything's green. Happy. Yep. Now we can get rid of this. Doesn't that look pretty? So pretty. Rest of the suspension work, not so much, but we'll get to that. That filter base is going to have to come out. Assembly, we are missing a lot of stuff. We'll worry about the rest of that stuff first. Let's get the air filter ordered. Let's see, that's going to be here. Air filter base, but where's the air filter cover? And then okay, let's get that installed. We'll mark the filter, but we're also going to need clip A or clip B. I guess we'll find out here in a minute. Let's go ahead and get the filter put in. Clip A. See, it's a good thing I checked. They got two different models of clips. Did I buy extra? I did not. Okay. Right. Let's get the fuse box taken care of, because I don't trust these, especially on either barn finds or auction cars. I don't tend to trust the fuse box. That's... for the old fuses. There. Fuse box A. I never trust the fuses on either barn finds or auction cars, is what I was trying to say. It's all under electrical. So 3 of these. 1 fuse type C. 2 fuse type A's. 2 fuse type B's. 2 relay type A's. 3 relay type C's. There we go. Fuse box base A. Fuse box cover A. That was the one we were missing, among other things. Get all the fuses put in. Suppose it doesn't really matter if I trust the fuses and the relays or not. I'm replacing them all on every vehicle I do anyway, so. But yeah, if you're just doing like a repair, like you're doing one of the story missions, or even one of the randomly generated missions, you want to. Oh right, we can get that gearbox in there. You want to, if the vehicle won't start, first things you want to check, one of the simplest things to check, and this goes for real life too, check your fuses. If you blew a fuse, granted that could be just a symptom of something deeper, but it's always the easiest thing, or one of the easiest things to check. Besides checking whether or not your battery's dead, and that's provided you have the right tools. If you don't have a multimeter, you should get one. There we go. Now I feel. All right, that's all together. Let's get the rest of the stuff in the engine compartment. I guess we could probably do the exhaust first since we're down here. 2 catalytic converters, 2 middle mufflers. Get those in here in the performance shop. So 2 catalytic converters, 2 middle mufflers, aka resonators. Actually, one other thing we could take care of, real easy to do, especially since it's missing. Get the fuel pump, and then gas tank. Go. Oh, now it's got fuel. And the only time we have to come down here again is to do the suspension work. I want to finish the rest of the engine compartment first. Right. So most of this we can get from here. Fan housing B. Radiator fan. Okay. Coolant reservoir. Gotcha. Power steering. You. Battery's electrical, so we'll skip that. So is the ABS pump. Brake servo. Washer reservoir. And the ECUs. The ECU, that's electrical too, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab that. Grab that since they're both bone stock. ABS equipment. Type A, thank you. And battery. Okay. Let's get that all installed. All right. It looks like everything, so we are going to switch over to unmount, and we're going to fill all the fluids That way we don't have to fuss with the engine compartment ever again. At least on this car. Alright, let's get the forbidden milkshake back here, aka the brake fluid. Your 710 cap, asshole. There we go. If you've never heard that 710 cap joke, I suggest you go look it up. It's a good way to mess with people. And yes, this one I'm deliberately overfilling. Right. Got power steering, coolant, oil, brake fluid, washer fluid. Okay, all the fluids are in. That should be it on the engine compartment. Okay. All we got left is the drive shaft, which we'll put in last. Alright, we're going to try to speed run this a little bit. I'm going to get this thing done so I can get going here. And get these tires off. I'm going to take this whole thing apart. And get that off there, which we just put on earlier. Pushing off there so we can get that arm off. Okay, bring out, ring cap. That end link off. I was about to say, why aren't you coming out? Realized there was still a bushing in there. Get very far. Speaking of bushings, get those out. Let's get this other axle shaft out. Go. This suspension arm off over here. These bushings out. Alright, put this arm off here. Rear suspension arm. That should free up the cross member, and that's it on that. Let's go fix what we can, if I go the right way here. I'm having to concentrate on this, so if I'm not talking, just bear with me. The more of this we fix up, the less we have to buy. Alright. Everything that's not 100%, we're going to have to order. So... sell parts, everything under 90%. Alright, go shopping. 2 brake pads, 2 rear springs, sway bar, 7 small rubber bushings, 7 rubber bushings. Two brake discs. Rear shock absorber. Remember we put the other one in brand new. We have our end link. 2 shock absorber caps. 1 wheel hub bearing, because I think we fixed the other one. You know what I meant. Rear suspension arm. 2 of those rear suspension arms. Go ahead and put the drive shaft in. Get that out of my inventory. Go. The other suspension arm on. Good. Wheel hub on there. Bearing, drive shaft, pads, and go. Upper arm, you. We'll go ahead and get these rubber bushings put in, or we forget. And rear end link. Very nice. Comes right together. Right, let's do the same thing for this side. Oh, I think I might have missed a part. Hang on. I just happened to see it when I was... Yep. I just happened to notice it when I was working on the other side of this. Alright, now we could do this side. That would have been awkward if I did all this and go, why do I have extra parts? That would be why. This thing is more than happy to let you put the wheel on, even though you don't have every single bit of suspension work put in. Okay, making good progress here. Get this, then get the bearing put in. Brake disc. Brand new rear axle shaft. That. Check the parts list. Parts list is empty. Check the condition. Man, we're already at 89%. We're making good progress. We are going to have to scoot if we want to get this done on time. We're not set to any particular time limit in the game, but like most people, I have other stuff I need to go do today, so I need to try to get this this episode done, at least to where I can upload it later. Grab that bearing. Wait, we need to get that end link off there. That shock absorber assembly is already at 100% because we literally just built that towards the beginning of stream or the recording. Come on, come out. Okay, you're missing both there. So do a little preemptive ordering there. Tie rod off. There. End link off there. All right. Cap. Oh. Ahead of myself here. Come on, out of there. Alright, let me get that assembly taken out, or taken apart. Only the one that's rusty, of course. Okay, let's go and set up what we can. Alright. Let's see where we're at here. Okay. Doesn't look like we're in too bad a shape. And sell the parts, do like we did last time. Sell everything we're not gonna be able to repair, and then order what we need. Okay, so 6 rubber bushings. 2 brake pads. Thank you. Inner tie rods. Wheel hubcap. 1 because we bought the other one earlier. Front spring. 2 outer tie rods. Okay, absorber cap. Sway bar. Okay, sway bar front end link because we had to buy the other one earlier. Steering knuckle D. Did brake discs 2. Front shock absorber. Caliper cylinder, thank you. Front wheel hub. And wheel hub bearing. Okay, before we do anything else, let's get that assembly because I'm actually remembering this time. Gimme. And go into assembly mode. Cross member put in, and we'll get the steering knuckle. Steering rack put in, and the sway bar. Oh, we forgot the connections for the exhaust, but that's okay. We can fix that. That'll be an easy thing to get once we get the rest of this put together. I got in a hurry with the exhaust and I didn't bother connecting it to the engine. That'd have been awkward. But it's easy to take care of. Take care of it after all of this. Okay. Bearing, cap, disc, and tie rod. Brakes put on. If you hear any weird noises in the background during the recording, that is actually my cat. He's snoring right now. One of the disadvantages of recording during the daytime. Recording in the middle of my cat's normal time of day where he takes a good long nap. But he is a bit of a snorer. Bear with me. Probably hear it when the noise gate disengages. Here's what's you hear what sounds like short bursts of a kazoo. That's my kitty. He is out. That's usually tell when he's, you know, deep in sleep is when he is just sawing away. All right. 2 of these, thank you. I think that's it. Let's check the parts. There we go. 100% parts all around. Yay. Did everything right. So now we're going to take it over to the alignment shop. We're going to align the headlights and the wheels. That way we're 100% on everything. Truly 100%. All right, that's the headlights. Okay, so he's back to mint condition. And one last thing I want to do, we're going to drive over to the speed track, do a quick pull on there and see what kind of numbers we get. Right on. Alright, here we go. Bit of a hard shift there, but that's okay. Okay, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150. I don't think we're going to get much more out of her. Oh, 160. And 162. Ooh, that was a bit of a rough hit. I'll take it though. 162 miles an hour. Not too shabby. Bigger runway, we might have been able to go faster, but it's fine. One last thing we want to do. I do want to take it to the dyno shop. We've got to, you know, one last thing we want to do before we take this and see what our final numbers look like. So 437 horsepower, 401 pound-feet of torque. We're going to see what this can do now that we've got all the performance parts put in, both for the exhaust and the engine. So, let's watch. $801. Damn. 84% increase of horsepower. 365 gain. 695 pound-feet of torque. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, let's get you moved up front. We'll take a look at the final numbers, and I'm probably going to end up selling this one. As nice as it looks, I'm more the vintage car person, so I say that, and I've got a F350 sitting in the parking garage of this game. Let's take a look at our final stats here. So 100% on everything. Oh, look at that. We bought it for 13. You see the numbers for the performance parts, the body, the condition bonus, and our final numbers. 169,700. Considering what we started with, I'd say we did pretty freaking good on this one. Hey, I'm finally making money after keeping like the last 2 or 3 builds. So anyway, we got this little guy here. You'll be seeing him soon in a couple episodes. This one's going to be the next one. Although, like I said, the body's good. The rest of it, not so much. You'll be seeing those later in future episodes. I want to thank everybody for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Or if you want to, you don't have to. The more the merrier here. And I will see you people in the next episode.